Augustus Mayhew shoved another candy cane into his mouth. Martha, I'm telling you, he said his name was Detective Jolly, but I assure you, there was nothing at all jolly about that man. He asked me all sorts of questions. Apparently, he seems to think that Larry was murdered. A pause. I don't know, Martha. He's talking to the Grinch right now.
Am I under arrest?
Detective Jolly raised his spectacles towards the light, frowning. He puffed a few breaths onto the lenses, then gave them a quick polish with the sleeve of his shirt. He glanced idly at the man sitting across from him. He was drumming his fingers on the table, unable to sit still. Nervous, no doubt. The man wore a red cap topped with a ball of fluff that appeared to have once been white. It had since faded into an off-yellow color. He wore a matching red coat, the same yellowing fluff stitched about it. Calling the coat threadbare would have been generous. There was no way a garment such as that would keep anyone warm in this weather. He supposed that's where all of the hair came into play. Should you be? Detective Jolly said, offering a thin smile. The man paused, seeming to consider his own innocence. He shook his head firmly.
No, I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, you haven't anything to worry about then. Let's just call this a chat among friends. The man frowned at that.
I ain't your friend.
Detective Jolly grinned. No, I suppose not. State your name for the record, please.
My name is Chester Frankshire III, but folks around here just call me the Grinch.
Why is that? Detective Jolly asked. The Grinch shrugged.
Don't know. Never thought to ask either.
I see. Just Frankshire then, not Frankshire who? Chester grimaced at that.
It's just the Grinch. Folks and me haven't been on the best of terms.
Oh, and why is...
I'm trying to do better,
the Grinch blurted. Detective Jolly nodded. How's that going for you? The Grinch sunk deeper into his chair.
Some days are better than others, I reckon, but my father always says that if you judge a man by his past, there ain't no point in talking about the future.
Your father sounds like a wise man.
He was a bastard, the same as me, but I am trying to do better.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Where were you on the night of December 24th?
At the tree ceremony, the same as everyone else.
Uh-huh, Detective Jolly said, jotting something down in his notebook. And then where'd you go?
I ain't too sure how that's any of your business.
A man's been murdered. Can't say that I enjoy it when that sort of thing happens, but I assure you, it's very much my business. Part of the job, I'm afraid. Now, answer the question, please. The Grinch's eyes slid towards the floor, unable to meet the detective's.
I was at a meeting down at the rec center.
And what time would you say that you wrapped things up at this, meeting? The Grinch shrugged.
I don't know, 10:30 maybe. Might I ask who died?
Detective Jolly nodded gravely. Larry who, I'm afraid. The Grinch sucked in a sharp breath, suddenly clutching his chest. He frantically began rifling through his pockets, eventually pulling out a small amber bottle. He unscrewed the lid, tossed a tiny white tablet under his tongue, and then sank back into his chair, breathing heavily. Are you okay? Detective Jolly asked. The Grinch looked even greener than he had moments ago, which was saying something.
I'm fine. Just a little angina is all,
the Grinch said, slowly lowering his hand away from his chest. I take it you knew the victim then? The Grinch nodded gloomily.
Yeah, he was my sponsor.
Your sponsor?
Yeah, okay, look, I used to have a bit of a drinking problem, but I haven't touched this stuff since last year's snafu. Larry helped me get through a pretty dark time in my life. I can't believe he's gone.
Last year's incident, you mean when you tried to steal Christmas? The Grinch gave a bitter little laugh.
Yeah, that's the one.
I see. And when was the last time that you saw the victim? Detective Jolly cleared his throat. Sorry, Larry.
Couple of days ago, I guess. He was supposed to be at the AA meeting on Christmas Eve, but when he didn't show, I just thought something must have come up. Not that he was...
The Grinch trailed off, unable to finish the sentence. Detective Jolly nodded apologetically. Sorry for your loss. Can you think of anyone who might want to hurt Larry? The Grinch shook his head.
No, of course not. Larry was the salt of the earth. Everybody loved him. Holy shit.
Detective Jolly's eyebrows rose sharply. Problem, Mr. Grinch? The Grinch waved him off, shaking his head.
It's probably nothing. I mean, for Christ's sake, she's just a kid.
Who? Detective Jolly prodded. The Grinch sighed.
Cindy Lou Who. Larry told me the kid has been snooping around his place a lot lately, but she does that. She did the same thing to me. I'm sure there's nothing sinister going on, right?
Detective Jolly shrugged and then smiled. I don't know, but I sure as hell plan on finding out.